Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Today we have another session for our research on Friday, ROF, presented and organized by School of the Arts, University of Science Malaysia, SOTA. So here today we have two guests as our presenter. First is the Madam Hilyati Ramli from Department Drama and Theatre, and another one is Dr. Muhammad Kamal Sabran from New Media Design and Technology. Suka saya ingatkan semua untuk mutekan your microphone, and also we have Q&A session in the end of this presentation. So all your question boleh either send through chatting chat di ruangan sebelah, ataupun boleh direct bertanya kepada kita punya pembentang pada hari ini. So untuk tajuk hari ini, pembentangan hari ini adalah bertajuk tentang the Healing Art Project. Okay, it's very interesting topic. But before that, I will introduce you the presenter first, which is Dr. Kamal Sabran. Saya akan bacakan dia punya biodata. Sedikit biodata untuk sesiapa yang belum mengenali Dr. Muhammad Kamal Sabran. Beliau merupakan seorang artis, designer dan juga producer dan juga lecturer di School of the Arts, University of Science Malaysia, SOTA. Dan beliau bertapak di Ipoh Perak sebagai seorang artis dan juga designer producer. Beliau mempunyai PhD dalam bidang new media dan teknologi bunyi dari Universiti Teknologi Mara. Selepas itu beliau banyak aktif dalam pertandingan dan pameran berbentuk sounds, teknologi dan artis dalam dan luar negara. Beliau juga mempunyai pengalaman bekerja dalam pelbagai bidang pada tahun 2000 hingga 2005. Beliau mempunyai pengalaman dalam bidang graphic designer dan juga pensyarah di Open University di Ipoh Perak. Selain itu, beliau mempunyai pengalaman juga dalam bidang pensyarah di Universiti Teknologi Mara Universiti Teknologi Mara Perak, dan yang terkini beliau menjadi RLKA di University Science Malaysia dan terus diseratkan menjadi tenaga pengajar kita di sini. Pengalaman beliau merangkumi kemahiran pelbagai bidang, terutamanya experimental music, performance arts, video dan electronic installation. Di University Science Malaysia, beliau diberikan tugasan untuk mengajar beberapa subjek, iaitu produksi video digital, instalasi, komposisi video, image dan bunyi, dan juga projek rega bentuk. Yang saya tahu semua subjek-subjek ini memang ke arah bidang pengkhususan beliau. Dan kita akan kenali juga Puan Hilyati Ramli, seorang pensyarah muda yang turut mengajar di University of Science Malaysia, School of the Arts. Beliau adalah di dalam bidang pengkhususan drama dan teater. Dan beliau, sedikit latar belakang mengenai beliau, adalah seorang praktis teater daripada Melaka, tak jauh daripada saya punya kampung. Dan beliau graduate daripada University of Science Malaysia, merupakan alumni kami, dan mempunyai master degree dalam bidang seni halus dan juga berbagai pengalaman yang berkaitan dengan seni dan juga persembahan. Beliau banyak melakukan persembahan di dalam dan luar negara, antaranya di Penang World Dance Day Melaka Art and Performance Festival, Georgetown Festival, Butterworth Festival, Kaki Seni International Arts Festival, Taiwan Grass Straw Festival dan juga pelbagai lagi exhibition yang lain. Beliau juga mempunyai pengalaman bekerja dalam bidang yang dekat dengan kepakaran beliau, iaitu sebagai seorang pensyarah di College International Yayasan Melaka pada tahun 2011 hingga 2012 dan juga production manager dan Academy of Coordinator di Performing Arts Center Penang. Dan selain itu juga turut mempunyai pengalaman dalam art manager at China House Gallery Penang. Yang selepas itu pada tahun 2016 hingga sekarang beliau diserahkan menjadi tenaga pengajar di School of the Arts hingga sekarang. Dan beliau mempunyai, berdasarkan kepada kepakaran beliau, di SOTA beliau mengajar dalam subjek-subjek yang terpilih seperti Introduction to Drama and Theatre, Fundamentals Directing, Fundamentals of Acting dan juga Advanced Acting, Traditional and Contemporary Dance. Yang saya tahu beliau memang pandai menari dan itu memang nampak kepada dia punya kepakaran yang paling dekat. Oleh itu sebelum saya membuang masa, kita perlu memberi masa yang cukup kepada kedua-dua pembentang ini kerana hari ini merupakan hari yang berbeza berbanding ROF yang sebelum ni, kerana kita mempunyai dua pembentang. Jadi kita mempunyai masa yang sedikit panjang untuk mereka membentangkan pembentangan mereka, kerana ini merupakan projek gabungan bersama. Oleh itu saya persilakan Puan Hilyati dan Dr. Muhammad Kamal Sabran, jika sudah bersedia, kita boleh mulakan pembentangan sekarang. Silakan.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Suhaili. So basically today presentation, both of us, Dr. Kamal and I, will present it together, and let's see if you have any question in the middle, please feel free to ask the question. We're going to answer you as much as we can. So without further ado, let me share our slide. Go. So Dr. Kamal will start the presentation. So I pass the session to Dr. Kamal and I will continue.
Okay, thank you very much. Today we will present to you a project, what we call the Healing Art Project, a study on sound and dance module and its effectiveness for health and well-being among youth. So the researcher will be Hilyati and me myself from the School of the Arts, Science Malaysia. Okay, all right. So this is more like a good eye view on what actually is happening now and how arts and health actually emerging in order to create a benefit to the public. So this is more like what arts actually help in health, in human health. This is what we call the parameters. So the delivery of arts and health program is a lot. So this is including visual art, decorative art, environmental design, architecture, and also performing arts. So if you can see here, the problems that arts and health could be emerged together, or art can contribute to the one of the problem is health, mental health, visual impairment, or maybe disability, and so on. And so we, in this project, we only focusing on the mental health. which is including the depression, anxiety, and so on. So we combine the performing arts between the sound and the dance together to cope with audience that having some sort of stress and something like that. So might be okay. So this is overview of what the project is all about. So mainly it has three main focus. One is art, the blue one, and then the yellow one, a little bit of yellow, something like that. That is stress. So and by combining these both worlds, we got the green one. That is what we call health. Okay, I mean, let's go to the problem first. The stress thing. This is what we call mental health, right? So stress is the third global disease nowadays. So after the heart disease problem, and now it's stress nowadays. And from the statistics, it shows that 30% of Malaysian having mental related problem from the early as 16-year-old. And we have invest about 52 billion per year for this kind of healthcare. And stress is normally shows as a headache, heartburn, insomnia, and it leads to risk of heart attack. So this is what we call a real world problem today. And we try to look how art actually could cope with the stress level. So based on previous research from a lot of researcher nowadays, some of the main criteria that how art probably will help the stress level or mental health related problem. One, art could ease pain naturally. Art also improve sleep quality, and it boosts memory. This is more particular on music or on sound, and also exercise or dance, because this is where we're focusing on. And then, for example, music also reduce stress and anxiety. A lot of research shows that arts and music and dance and exercise uh, having a benefit to the human. Then, by combining this art and health together, we have those green. This is what we trying to focus on this project, where we wanted to create a happy, better students, a better well-being, calm, relax, mindfulness, having knowledge about the and awareness and motivation. So this is the where we lead to in this project. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is our previous event poster whereby we did it in a few places in Malaysia and also in other countries such as Vietnam back in 2018. So the first one, the Kelas Tidur, the Healing Art Project, because we have a few names that came out along the way. So it starts with the creative stress-free session, and then it goes to Kelas Tidur, and then it goes to the Healing Art Project. So we still, in a way, we're trying to figure out what kind of title or name that can catch the youth attention towards the project. And after some research, it seems that kelas tidur give more effect, whereby the student get how to say, right? It's a little bit catchy, and then they're like, wow, it's so hipster to go to the class, bring some pillow or blanket, that kind of stuff. So hence now we still in the middle of something like what name, what title we should go for this. So we have this one, the class tidur. This one we do it at Ipoh. There's a festival during that time. It's the Under Kaki Seni Festival. And then Creative Stress Free is the first one that we launched like last year, early of last year, 13th of March in Pelenggang Cahaya. And then we have the Distress by being creative, the healing art project. That's another one that we have done in USM too. So this is the picture of the session where the participant involved with the group. Okay, let me give the overall how does the session start. So the participant are required to fill up a form, pre-survey, whereby we wanted to measure how the stress level among the participants. Is it bad? Is it they are not that stressed, but they just come for just to enjoy the session with friends and so on. And after that, we prep them with the sound for about 10 to 15 minutes, where they try to relax their body and their mind, get ready to repeat into the session. And then after that, I will start with my movement session whereby the participant will follow the instruction, the movement instruction, to stretch their body, to prep them for the next session whereby they start to sleep or relax for another half an hour. And then after that, we have a small conversation with them, how they feel and so on, and fill up another form to see how does this program affect their stress level and so on. So this is also the previous session. This is at USM Pelenggang Cahaya. It's another session. Okay. Every each session we have different artists that been invited to play together with Dr. Kamal. So and of course in the survey we did ask how does every each session or this instrument does affect the whole environment. So this one, Dr. Kamal, you want to say anything about it?
The data from the questionnaire, the survey is actually helping us to develop a better music, a better sound module for the dance and everything. So we actually learn a lot from each session, and the feedback from the student, we take it as really as serious as we can, because this is for them. So we are not creating a music for ourselves anymore. This is for our participants. So we need a feedback from them in order for us to really understand what they really need, what is what makes that effect to them, how effective is the music of the dance movie. So from last year until this day, we actually still working on it. So I think this will continuously.
Yeah, that one I was to add on for that. Of course, course, we start with this project, especially for dance part, the movement parts. We start with, I feel like, oh, I should include dance or movement or the choreography for them to relax. But at early stage of the research, I use a lot of how to say movement that that not suit for the normal people. It more, I mean, for dancer, I don't think there's such much problem on it. They can stretch more.
Because he background as a dancer, so
performer.
she and a performer, sorry, and a choreographer. So she has like a higher standard of body movement. So where not everyone, I mean, it's a performer, right? So now Bill is finding Bill how to develop a model that everybody can actually experience in a higher level of effectiveness.
So it start from that type of movement in dance, I say that I use, and then it goes to, after some time to right now, it come to the point that it's not dance anymore. It's a motion. It's the motion of the body that move you to make you calm. So all this thing actually we gathered from the feedback of the students. I think we have more than 500 participants, but only half of them fill up the survey that we did up. Okay, let's do. Okay, this is the finding.
This is from last year. So together we're having like 266 responded.
Yeah. So then 259 is a student, and then the gender is male 67, and then female 198. Don't know why female is more than male. Maybe male love to play games rather than come to all this session. And then of course the focus of this session is more into art school.
Before, yeah.
Art school.
But later, a lot of other schools also join us.
Yeah.
From School of Science,
Science.
Humanities, Language. We have quite a lot of other schools joining.
Okay, and then out of 268 response, they are 17 to 29 years old.
That is youth.
And yes, we do have one participant that I think 60 years old in one session. Okay, and then in the survey, we did ask, have you gone through stress moment recently? So you can see 111 participant, 41.4% is quite highly stressed. And then has the session helped you calm? 118% said it's yes. And then 102 is like highly said it helped them to calm. Do you need more session like this in future? 132 said yes, they need it. And would you introduce this session to your friend and family? And 126 students say highly yes, they agree with it. And then the next question, do you think the sound or music component in the session relaxing? They say yes. Of course, there's 1% here say no, maybe they love something else. We are not sure. And do you think that body movement in this session help you to relax? 112 say yes. Okay. This is data that we have. And also we do have open-ended questionnaire whereby of course they say that talk about the most of the comment talk about the environment whereby the air conditioning, and then they need yoga mats whereby we can't provide it at the early stage of the research because we don't have that much of budget.
They need longer sleep.
And then they need longer sleep, and some of them say they need more of this session so that they can release, especially during the almost the exam week. They need more of this session so that they can come and just relax before they go back to the room, their hostel, so they, before they continue to study for exam. Okay, so I think enough of us talking.
Yeah.
Why don't you open the floor? Do you have any question, anything maybe we can?
For Hilyati and Dr. Kamal want to open for Q&A session for the first half presentation, is it? Okay. So to all of you, if you have any question, please silakan. But if you shy, why not you text your comment or your question dalam ruangan chat sebelah supaya saya boleh bacakan. Okay, sebelum kita tunggu any question from the audience, what is the tools that people need to bring together untuk join your session ni, selain daripada bantal dan juga lapik, ada barang lain tak yang dia boleh bawa?
Normally, we will ask them to wear their pillow, their yoga mat, or something to cover the floor lah, so they are comfortable when they sleep, and also blanket. It's quite cold inside the playground, so yeah, you cannot turn off the aircon. It's going to be too hot. So yeah, that's
So
the things that we need to bring.
Normally the activity do in the indoor, is it?
Yes.
Not outdoor.
No outdoor.
In the garden or maybe beach, I don't know.
That one in the future, Dr. Suhaili.
Yeah, we have some plan.
Some plan.
Okay, that's good.
Dr. Kamal, what kind of music that you play for them?
Oh, good question. Thank you very much. Usually we actually play some sort of what we call soundscape, whereby I design the sound using mostly electronic music. We are using synthesizers, programming, sampling, that kind of music. But for this particular project, we also include traditional instruments such as rebab, sitar, tabla, seruling, gendang, and everything. So because to me, to make it sound interesting, we actually need to focus on the richness of sound and the texture too. And then we know that youth is actually really love the music, so we need that. This is to me is challenging to me in order to create something that one attract them, two challenging enough to appear as a new kind of music, because teenagers nowadays or youth nowadays they are smart, so they know that this is something that really not new or not really current, not contemporary kind of music, so they will turn off. So on doing that, I need to really understand what they need. And secondly, what should I offer as a new knowledge for them, as a new sound, as a new music for them to really enjoy. And for me, here actually it's helping a lot, because without the exercise, without the dance module, the music can't stand alone. So you need a combination of both.
Dr. Kamal, do you have any sample for the music?
Yeah, we prepared something, but we will play it before end of the session.
Okay. So kita akan dengar the sample langsung. Hopefully tak ada orang semua tak tidur lah lepas tu. Any question from the audience? Please don't be shy. Please send your question dalam ruangan chat. And did you find out why female actually increase the result for the stress level? Did you come up with another maybe data ke ataupun try to find out the why factor why female?
I think one of it because the population, the student population in USM, especially in art school, I think is dominated by female. But we don't know whether female needs more stress release session. We don't know about that. Or maybe man is too happy to have stress. We don't know about that too. But probably we will find out later on.
So meaning that you not investigate what is the factor that they stress about.
No, we are
No,
not looking
okay.
at that. We're just looking that how does our program affect the stress level? Does it affect the reduce or the more stress after they join our
Yeah.
session? That's the thing that we wanted to measure, not what caused them being stressed and
Okay.
so on.
So we have one question from chat. Hi Puan Hilyati, did you fix the movement routine or improvise it? And how long was the movement routine before you let the participant relax and sleep? Did you set specific time?
Okay, for this research, this session of this duration of this research, right? Since I still experimenting the length and also what type of movement should I use during the session, so it a bit vary. Different session, different time frame, and different session, different type of movement stretch. So now we already in the second phase whereby we're going to discuss and we're going to explain afterwards. Phase of research, I already kind of find a way whereby I fixed already the duration of the movement session, and then what type of movement that I should use in order to help the participant to relax.
So that is more like a really well designed module that she's trying to come up. And then now we are trying to test whether that module is really good enough to
Yeah.
run.
Does it affect or not?
Yeah,
Because some of the participants said, "Oh no, after the session I cannot sleep because my joint all pain, my muscle stretch too much. So hence I need to take all those into the consideration. Or I hang my hand up too long, so it's sore. So that type of thing that I already identify and then take notes for the next start. Yeah.
Okay, I noticed that from the participants, it's not from the participant, the parameters that you show us, ada yang obesity, I mean what is that, the obesity, the diabetes, the especially for the obesity, is it if you give the movement yang susah, mungkin dia sukar untuk nak follow, right?
Yes, that's why at the very beginning I'm like, okay, we still gonna stand up and do the movement. Stand up, everyone. So after that, after the session, people are like, okay, this is hard. I'm not going to follow you. I'm just going to sit down. So from the observation itself, I said, oh, there's a problem with this. So maybe I should start with sit down, and then after that is lying down. We don't have to from the stand up. And then I know yoga, a lot of other exercise that they are really help to calm, but not everyone can follow it. So, and again, the check and balance, what works, what doesn't work to ordinary people to follow. That's because kalau if they want to do like extreme thing, they can always go to YouTube and do the yoga thing.
Yeah.
Not everyone have that access nowadays. So what is special in our program that we can offer to people? So I think both of us, after a lot of discussion and research, we think that it should be accessible. It should be applicable, or
More like a universal. Right?
yeah, everyone can follow. Even
Yeah.
a 60 years old grandma or grandpa can follow it.
Okay, we go for the next question. Dalam ruangan chat from Dr. Siti Rohaya binti Haya. What is the significance of your study to community? How can community apply this research in their daily life? Do you think this can be applied as one of the arts therapy for autistic children? Silakan. Rasa macam ada dua soalan di situ.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
first one is about the impact, right? The impact, the significant. Yes, like I said before, 30% of youth in Malaysia having some sort of mental health problem. I mean, they are having anxiety, they're stressed out. So that 30%, I mean, out of 10, each of us today, 3 of us having stress. So this is why we come out with the Healing Art project, because we need to help them. This is where we as a musician, as a choreographer, working in arts area, this is how we actually contributing to the society by actually looking to this really serious matter. But to me, if we actually can reach those special needs, to those students that really need it. So this is more like an alternative for them for healing, for example. Because nowadays, not many students wanted to go to the counselor if they have a problem, because it doesn't look really cool for them. Maybe they feel like going to psychiatrist, going to counseling is too hard. So this is why we come up with the idea where we are using music, because music loved by teenagers, the youth. We use dance or choreography in order to actually attract them more in a group. So in a peers, because why? Because with friends, they will help each other. They will like having like they feel less stressed because they are not alone. So to me, this is more like a right method for us to tackle the needs that actually not been um, uh, asked by the youth. Maybe the second one is what?
The second question is it even?
Do you think this can be applied as one of our therapy for autistic children? I'm not sure because we never tried it.
But a lot of research been done with autistic children. Yeah. Also, Gauss also have been working with that. It's been a long time ago with Kamelian and autistic. Our dean, the Mumtaz also have been research about this autistic research, very brilliant research. Maybe I think we can find out more in.
Because how to say this? A bit going out of context from the question. The whole project, the whole idea of this project come out where Dr. Kamal comes to me and said, we need to do something. The case about how the teenagers, the stress among the teenagers is like increasing. So I said to Dr. Kamal, yes, I've been to GH a few times. I think the counselor in GH know me. Because of the student keep on like admitted to the emergency room because of stress, they're trying to kill themselves, and so on and so on. So yeah, why not we do something? But what we should do? And then hence we come back to what our practice is, sound and also movement, and then how to combine it. How does this can attract another thing? Yes, we can design whatever we want to design, but how does we going to attract that? How what make these teenagers wanted to come to the class? But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I think I hope that menjawab persoalan Dr. Siti Raya. Okay, we go for the next question. From Dr. Jasni. How do you measure the intangible output from this session towards participants?
Actually we are more like having a survey. It's more like a scale that they actually they think whether 1 to 5 whether they are really low or high, and then from the data that we have shown before, that is how it looks like. So we are not doing a medical research over here. We doesn't use medical expertise in order to measure the medical science part. No, this is more like a survey whereby you collect the emotional part, the what we call this. Because this is more like experimental where we actually fine tune something like creative work, because creative work is more like responses, right? So when we know how much or how intense is the responses, so we respond it back. So this is more like a two-way communication. It's not just you sit in the lab, you doing something that you think that you are right, and you publish. No, this is more like a human to human communication. So we need to have the feedback, and that's why a survey form to me is really good method in order for us to get the data and we give it back, and it's like a circle.
And of course, we do have a few medical people
Yeah.
who came, join the session, and then bring their tools to measure how does this session affect the brain wave and so on. But we do not know about that, what is the outcome of it.
Yeah.
Because they just come as a participant, not as a part of the research itself.
Yeah.
I think for your information, we also have a collaboration project with Ministry of Health under Dr. Ismail Lassa. Is expertise in public health. So we have been working together for quite a long time and to fine tune this one. So, uh, but like I said before, we are not trying to jump over to the medical examination. No, but we are actually find how from the medical expertise point of view, they actually really help us on some and give us some guidance in order for us to actually make what we call come up with the first question and everything. And then also, they also help us with what we call analysis, analyze the data and everything. And that is how it's connected.
Yeah, because some of the research we have our limitation, right? Some we cannot go cover up all. So that's another question from Dr. Jasni also. Dalam ruangan chat, can we generalize the output towards certain people who have different characters?
Character.
Can rephrase? I don't understand the
Boleh
question.
baca dia
I
soalan
think
dalam ruangan.
I understand what it means. Okay, our focus group is youth, and also this is a focus group, and then they came to our session by voluntary, means they having almost the same problem, right? So then by doing survey, so now we are actually can know a little bit what is our audience is, what they actually having the same, almost the same problem or something like that. But to it's too small. Sorry, I'm old. I can't read.
Tak apa, slowly.
Okay.
Tengah ruangan chat.
And you, hold on. This is a lot.
Different
Oh,
characters.
question. Okay.
How you measure, can we generalize the output?
Generalize the output towards, yeah, that one.
Oh, character. No, we are not studying the character. No, this is different scope of research. This is more
Yeah.
like yeah. I think that is another good research question whereby different approach, different method.
Okay. So we go for the next question from Doktor, not yet coming Puan Azlina Khalid dalam ruangan chat juga. Assalamualaikum, interesting research. Congratulations to both of you. Can you share with us a few suggestions given by the participants to improvise your current workshop?
Okay, some of it, I have it here in my computer, and then they said need more space and comfortable floor. Okay.
There's no our fault. Floor fault.
So provide a coffee space to sleep.
They need more sleep. Sleep means they are stressed because the idea of kelas tidur is more like, sometimes it sounds like really not academic, but tidur means something like you when you can't sleep mean you are stressed. Please continue.
Okay. This really relaxing as I don't have enough sleep. The stretching is good for loosening up our body. And then the one is amazing and let me feel relaxing. And then
That's the problem.
they said the audio isn't smooth because during the MCO we did this online session
We try one.
once whereby Dr. Kamal in Ipoh, another musician in Perlis, me myself in Penang.
So how the result?
Okay,
Is
it
it
said
same?
here, so one of the audio isn't smooth due to my internet connection. However, in the real life session was immensely enjoyable. Looking forward to do it after MCO. So we get a lot of good feedback from that session too.
Of course, they have a different situation, different result between the real class and by the online class. What do you think? What is your experience? Can you share us compared to this?
Yes,
Just nowadays?
that is what we're trying to find out with our second phase of research, whereby we will run everything online, starting tomorrow. So that is going to be 100% online. So the approach, the research, the question, and everything, the feedback will be really different from the first stage. So we will actually review that probably later on, maybe another 2 or 3 months later.
And of course, when we do this session, the online session during the MCO is it's not really planned. We wanted to do it. It's a bit like, let's do it. Since we all stuck in the home, and then a lot of students contacted me. I'm stressed. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. With the family and so on, with the workload and so on. Hence, we try to do it online. There's a lot of technical problem by the internet. Slow, there's heavy rain in Penang and so on. But from the feedback that we look at it,
Positively, yeah.
it's a very encouraging positive, whereby we are not only get the feedback from USM student, but also from UITM and other universities.
Yeah, from public.
And also public.
So Dr. Kamal, kalau yang by online, kalau ada tak peserta yang terus tidur sebab kita tak boleh nak kejut dia fizikal kan? Macam mana tu?
Kita tak tahulah kan.
I'm not sure about that, but that's a good question. Yeah.
Ada tak?
I think more or less, sleep is not dangerous. So to me, they can continue It's just it.
Okay, we go for the next question. Lawangan chat from uh, Diana Auni. Salam doktor, how we can apply this for people yang mungkin perlukan terapi seperti research ini yang mempunyai masalah kesihatan atau stres yang lebih kepada kemurungan. Maybe you can give suggestions or some guide to us. Wow. Diana Auni ada masalah stres rasanya mungkin.
Wow, that is okay. This is our actually limitation. So our limitation is I mean mental health, like stress is mean different from mental problem. So mental problem we can't, because that is more like out of our reach. That is serious. What I can say that you need to go to the psychiatrist because they actually develop a better method. And also, we are not art therapists. Art therapists, they actually know the right method for the right person. But we just focusing on the student as a art as a prevention before you get more serious.
Ya, betul. For the I think some of the participant here may be confused. Mungkin dia ingat memang Dr. Kamal and Puan Hilyati is a therapist ataupun counsellor. Okay, kena clear the limitation of the research. So it's only therapy session untuk tidur dan selepas tu mungkin lebih segar, bukannya lebih jadi stres. So the next question is from the Fukuoka, Japan. Is it Mr. Azam? For the Dr. Kamal, is there any chances to see Dr. Kamal investing sound from an ancient musical instruments based from the sounds of Borobudur for this session?
Good question, Azam. Thank you so much. Yes, we actually are working with musicians who are playing the what we call traditional instruments such as rebab, gamelan, tabla, and everything. So this is, to me, I just wanted to focus on the Asian or Malaysian type of instruments. So what makes that our culture rich in sounds kind of art. So, but like Borobudur and everything, I probably later Borobudur sound of might be what it means by that is more like using gamelan, gong, something like that. Yeah. But we are looking forward to work with to collaborate with any musician that interested in this project. And
Okay, when you talk about the music's background, did you is it 100% the music background that you use by Dr. Kamal is created by you? Is it you compose the sound, is it, or you combine all the music, put inside and come up with a new one?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, while performing live with Hilyati in front of us, actually we are not playing any music. We are not playing music that uniform, or this is more like a reaction, expression, where we're using the words we call improvisation. So we have like I and other musician, we have like a mutual understanding how it goes. So because we need to come up with a music that having a kind of vibes that we like vibes, something like that. But how we get it, how we play it always impossible to make it measurable. No, this is more like a expression. So because different places, different environment affect us as musicians too. So I can say that every time music that we play will never be the same.
Yeah.
It's always new all the time.
Okay, they have some, maybe your ex-participants in your class. This is just a sharing from SK. I don't know, is it the name is SK? I have participated in this project early before and thought I don't know how this research may lead and what it may contribute to the others. But as far as I know, it does help me at least to release the stress of the day. Congratulations to the team. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good testimony. So the next question is from FB by Emma Caterinicio. What are the expected challenges with having virtual participants?
Hi, Emma. Thank you very much for the question. So, this is what we actually looking for the second phase. We expect some challenges, but nowadays because of COVID, the pandemic, and everything is goes online. So we need to do something. So maybe we having a challenging problem and everything, but that is why we need to know. And then from that, probably we can actually make it smoother. Thank you, Emma.
Your old friend maybe.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
All the question it come from outside. Why not our staff ask this question? Prof Shanti, do you have any question? Did you stress before?
Good morning, Dr. Kamal and Puan Hilyati. I think you have a very exciting and interesting project here. The fact that you are attracting a lot of questions shows the interest that audience feels about your research. And because it is so exciting and interesting, it also has a lot of questions that are being posed. For me, I like the way you have kind of stressed your problem statement. The way I have read it is this: if someone has stress, as a first step to be referred to a counselor has a stigma to it. All right, it is not easy, to tell your friends, especially if your target group youth. Yeah. It is a very clear problem. You don't want to be seen as, this girl, she's going to see the counselor or something. It means it does affect the esteem of a person, especially if you're a young person and so on. So that's a very good problem statement to start with. All right. And then you have actually the notion of stress. And I think I like to relate this to what Dr. Jasni is saying, because the notion of stress is so complicated. You can have different kinds of stress, different levels of stress. All right. So at this moment, you are actually putting it all together as one. All right. And you are looking at probably school or curriculum based stress. There's also at the university level, relationship stress, studying stress, or the lecturer stress. So they have different forms of stress. So there are many characters to the stress and different levels. Some may be a bit more resilient and may be able to handle. Some may be a little bit more vulnerable, and therefore, they are experiencing it in a more deeper level. So therefore, that there are many dimensions to this. So it is, at this point for you, it's a very exploratory study. And it could be, that you would like to give it a little bit more focus towards student or exam or study or academic related stress, just to cover your things. And I think you have rightly put that you are here not to solve the problem of stress. All right. No one is saying that when they finish your program they're going to be stress free. No. All right. So what you are trying to put here is how you can actually devise a program that will help you learn about the person who's participating, about the stress, and probably engage in a number of activities that will help them. It will not solve the stress, but it will at least help them. And I think that one aspect which would be useful for you is to have these interviews with the participants in terms of them to actually reflect what is it that they were going through, and how do these movements, listening to this music, different instruments, what does it stir in them? All right. And how can that actually contribute to some form of realization among the participants themselves. So if they have further issues, you can always refer them to the clinical dimension. There's so much that you can do. But there are certain things that if they feel that even with this, yes, but it's just a short term, they have serious problems, then they can be referred to clinical groups and so on. So I think you have a very interesting project here. Probably you need to see in terms of how you can look at you are not here to solve the problem of stress. It'd be good to have stakeholders from maybe psychology or from the clinical part, just to give you some input, all right? That the social science element is also good because you can see, the kinds of stress and the role, the factor of gender here, all right? Is gender a factor in terms of looking at how we cope with stress? All right, how about, because you're looking at the students, right? So looking at, I don't know, gender, ethnicity, these are possible things that somebody from social science can be invited to come and, take care of it, because there's so much you can do. All right. And your expertise is in terms of developing a package with movements and sound. It involves not only the physical, but also the emotion as well as the mental, so to help you work around it. I think you've got a very nice project, a lot of things to explore, a lot of things that you can actually work on it, and we can always talk about this later. So my only thing is just how can you actually, you've got all the ideas here, but pack it in a more scientific way, because you have it there so that it seems systematic, it seems scientific, and it can be actually something that can be offered for those who are experiencing stress. And with certain dimensions, because like if it's for autistic children, it is a whole different thing altogether. You cannot have one size that fits all, you see. So, but there's no harm. You can always explore, what is it that you can do with different groups of kids and so on. So that's just my thoughts for the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you,
Thank you
Prof.
so much.
Actually, Prof. Shanti is one of my mentor. So whenever I can catch her, I always ask a question, and she actually helping us actually a lot in shaping and developing this project altogether. Thank you very much, Prof.
Yeah. Did we have any question? Soalan daripada staff yang lain? Dr. Julina ada soalan? Dr. Hadi, Prof. Hadi.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kamal and Puan Hill. A very interesting research. As you all know that I myself have been researching on the healing performance for many years, and I just want to maybe just maybe to share, or just maybe at the same time ask you some question, because of based on our research on the healing performance, the traditional healing performance, the Main Putri, the Babayo, the Pengayau, and all that. And the fact that the crucial part is actually to understand the physiology of a human being, whereby I don't know whether the research probably would take into account of that, because of it's very important to understand the vibration and the frequency of a human body. This is actually very crucial, because from there then you know how to maybe and how to adapt to your volume of sound or type of sound that actually would enhance would reduce the pain of the patient, and also the type of movement, because when we study the healing performance, the fact that the neurotransmitter in the body, which is actually the serotonin and dopamine in your body, which is actually a hormone in your body, reflects to that, because our body has a vibration and our body have a frequency, and that actually would actually reduce the stress And I think the fact that it's for me, it's very important to understand the physiology of human body, because we interact. I mean, human body interact with frequency and vibration, and I think that would actually from our study, it's very important to see on how different kind of music, different kind of volume, different kind of movement, different kind of even olfactory bau-bauan is actually can reduce stress among people, because you know, healing performance has been there for many years, and before, you know, the medical, the advent of you know, Western medical stuff, because it's very important to understand this. So I think that is actually very crucial to understand, I think. Thank you.
So before that, sebelum saya close this ROF for today, did you have any last words untuk promo maybe your class, your session class selepas ini? Silakan.
Okay, hold on here. Let me share. Okay, so this is our upcoming new session. That's a 6
Weekly online session.
So on 24th tomorrow, we have one session, 31st October, 7 November, 14 November, 21st November, and 20 November. It's 9 p.m.
It will be live streaming from Art Health Research Facebook page. So please like the pages, and after that you will get info about the live streaming.
Yeah, and then you are required to fill up the form before and after the session itself for our study. So this is our contact, Art Health Center, Facebook, and then Instagram, Healing Art Project, and you can always email us to the healingartproject@gmail.com. This is okay. Thank you so much. This is our poster, and then before I end this, I want to share another
Video promo, 30 seconds.
So terima kasih. Thank you very much Dr. Kamal and Puan Hilyati. I wish you good luck for your research and for your therapy session class. And terima kasih banyak-banyak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jumpa lagi. Bye.